Live. We'll see if we got this. I am now live. Oh, hallelujah. I did it. I did it. I did it. Oh, my goodness.
We did it?
We did it.
We did it.
We did it. We got Hayes in the background.
Hi, I'm Hayes.
Let's see. I feel like there's a way. Oh, there it is. Expand video.
Are we live and also recording this video for people to watch later?
It will get recorded. So.
Lovely. Okay.
So, okay. Let's see. I feel like I have to do live. Yep, see, learning curve, folks. I don't know if it was live there. Sorry, you guys, I have a root beer barrel in my mouth.
Me too.
So, if you are just joining us, which, I just started going live, so you probably are just joining us if anyone's even watching. We got Hayes, our kiddo, in the background here. The green, Hayes loves green.
And the purple Hayes of the Lavender Lodge.
Yes, yes. So, Hayes and Katie, Hayes' mom, have been here, and they made us a little craft. Look at this.
I know, it's a little heart.
It's a little heart. Happy Valentine's Day. So this is going to get hung up somewhere in the Lavender Lodge. It's kind of funny because there's actually a little bit of a lag. I've never really used two screens before.
There is a delay.
There's a delay, a lag, whatever.
It's interesting.
It is interesting. But I want to pay attention to in case people are jumping in and commenting also. So I'm trying to you know what? I'll bet you there's solutions to this. Let's see. We can see, there we go. We minimized, and now I can see when anybody comments, and it's see, it's a learning curve. This is new technology for me. I am out of my comfort zone. I have had excuse me. Oh, we got Katie. Katie's on camera.
I love you,
Hi,
mother.
Katie.
It's the best mother in the world.
We are live streaming. Yeah. It is on Facebook, so yeah. I was gonna say, yeah. You can keep your anonymity.
She's scared.
So I have been having people encourage me for a length of time. Time is fake, as we all know. As we talk, I love you too. Thanks, guys. Time is fake. But so anyway, it has been a length of time and a vast number of people that have been encouraging me to get on and start live streaming more consistently. The ultimate goal is actually to be streaming on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok all at the same time, and really start to maybe build some momentum. Who knows? Maybe what I talk about people won't want to get down with, whatever. But I have had too many encounters since I have started live streaming approach me and let me know that something that I said impacted them, something that I said made a difference in their life, something I said had the capacity to help them learn, grow, understand, whatever it might have been. I am a wealth of sometimes useless information, and that's a little extra chuckle that I'll go into at some point. But there's a lot of things that I know about, that I can talk about, that I do talk about, that I strive to emulate in my own life, to also live by. And I'm not perfect. I screw up. I'm human. I'm flawed. I acknowledge that. I have many relationships that I've got work to put into to repair. And it's not, hey, beautiful girl. How are you, Court?
Hi, I love you so much, Jamie.
I love you too.
Heading out.
Yep.
I hope you have a lovely stream.
Thank
Hi,
you.
people watching.
The beautiful, magnificent, awesome haze with their obsession with green, which is funny because I think they're conflicted about my hoodie that I'm wearing right now, because it is green, but it also says, "This girl loves the Packers." And they don't love that. So that's just a a fun little Lavender Lodge moment. So here I begin the journey on a Tuesday evening. It is February 9th. Is that right? Wow, I hope that's right. Oh, I have my phone on me. I can actually look. Isn't that funny? 10th. My apologies. It is February 10th. And I don't know. We were sitting in the living room, as you can figure out that Hayes and Katie were here to hang out for the evening. I know a lot of you know that we lost a very close dear friend of ours, Skylar, this past week. I'm going to do my damnedest to not cry on this stream. I know that it's being real and authentic, but I don't like it. I honestly believe that I held back my tears way too much when JR, my husband, ended his life. I cried in the shower. I cried after the kids went to bed. I cried into my pillow. And I look back on that now and realize that I shouldn't have held that grief away from my children, from my friends, my family, the people that cared about me, the people that cared about him. I didn't understand that then. I thought that I was doing the right thing. But another thing that I have strived to learn is acknowledging when I've been wrong. And I was wrong. I didn't understand that at the time, but I understand that now. And now I can make that conscious effort. I'm not talking about walking around like a blubbering mess and whatever. I mean, that's going to happen. It does happen. I mean, JR's been gone for March 15th. It'll be 14 years. And I still have moments where I'm hit with grief of missing him, grief of what he has missed. I still shed tears at unexpected moments. And we had, in some levels, we had a good relationship, and in a lot of levels, we didn't. I learned invaluable lessons having lived that marriage, having had that be my lived experience, was being married to this man. JR was an amazing man, and he had moments he was an awful man. He was human, he was flawed. I genuinely believe that he tried his best. He was doing what he thought was right. And there was a lot of things he did right. There were. I learned so many lessons. I think probably one of the most impacting lessons that I learned from this lived experience was, it was a regular conflict in our marriage. Of all things, about laundry. It was the bane of his existence, the poor man. And he would get so frustrated with how I handled my laundry that I was comfortable with. And he would say things to me like, if you would just do things my way, we wouldn't have these problems. And I don't know about you, but I'm not overly fond of people telling me that it has to be their way. I understand there are situations and moments where that is the truth, that is the reality. It really does have to be this way. There are standards of health care. There are there are things that is not that flexibility with. But there are so many things that there can be flexibility with. There can be compromise with. There can be give and take and trial and error. You know, why can't it be a conversation of, you know, it really frustrates me that you struggle with every step of doing laundry. This would be a conversation that we were having, he was having to me, of saying, you know, why is this a problem? Why do you, like, you forget that it's in the washer, and then you forget that it's in the dryer, and you've left clothes out on the line through multiple rainstorms. Why can't you, you know, and then you don't want to fold it, you don't want to put it away. If you would just stay on top of it, just do it my way, we wouldn't have these fights, we wouldn't be having these conflicts. Instead of saying, I see that this is really hard for you. Is there anything that I could do to help you with remembering this without me actually taking the task on? Like, could we try something? Could we try, like, maybe, like, I don't know, could we try a Post-it note option of, like, maybe a Post-it note somewhere, just a reminder of, hey, make sure you switch the laundry. You know, trial and error. Try things out, you know. Now in these days, this was back in, you know, the late 90s, early 2000s. We have the technology right at our fingertips. We can set alarms, we can set reminders. And it helped me be able to learn and grow and understand better human nature. We have so many options in front of us of how we can choose to react in a situation. Court, that's my, early on in the stream I had a little smirk about something or other that I said, that's a side story later down, that the struggle is real. Does a partner out there like that truly exist? I'd like to think so. That is my hope and that's my desire. I don't know if any of you have seen my post that I recently, in the last couple of months, I've encountered two people that I had bizarrely, instantaneously deep connection with on different levels for each of them, but things that were a first-time experience for me at 53 years old. And both of them, like, shut down hard and fast and blocked me. The first one, like, without saying a word. The second one at least did give me communication and basically said that I didn't respect boundaries that they had never set. I had done something that they were bothered by, and it continued to escalate and fester unbeknownst to me, and growing and festering in him, until instead of having a simple conversation at the very beginning of saying, hey, you're kind of spamming me with the reels. I'm trying to watch the Super Bowl. I'm trying to spend time with my son. Could we just talk later? And to which I would have said, oh my gosh, absolutely. I'm so sorry. I was only sharing them because I thought you were enjoying it. I will absolutely let me know when you have time for me. Like, I have no problem doing that. I have no problem saying that. I want to have those conversations. If I don't know something is bothering somebody, I don't know to take into consideration if I want to adjust my behavior, if I can adjust my behavior, what my options are. Courtney, I agree completely. Court, in case anyone's not seeing the comments, because I don't know, sometimes I feel like when it's on replay, it's weird. Court said, I know I'm capable of that, and I also pray for the same in return. As do I, as I think most people do. We want to be in a relationship with somebody that's matching our energy, that we're not having to carry the load, that they can embody the caring acronym, the communication, authenticity, and accountability, responsibility, integrity, no nonsense, grace, and gratitude to the best of our abilities. Like I said, we are all human, we are all flawed. I don't think anybody goes into a relationship and goes, man, I hope I have to carry all the weight in this relationship and do all the work, and with little to nothing, if not backpedaling in return. I think a lot of us have had relationships like that. I think pretty much everyone, we want the best in the people around us. Whether it's a romantic partner, whether it's roommates or housemates, chosen family, biological family, our co-workers. We want relationships with everybody that embodies compassion, that embodies the caring acronym. We want, at least that's my belief. I believe that, and I feel like that is true of a lot of people. I think the vast majority of people would agree that they want a partner that matches their energy. And I don't believe that relationships are 50-50. I believe that there are moments where one is carrying more weight than the other. One is having to be more support than the other. But the important thing, in my ever so humble opinion, is that it is give and take. It is the communication. It is the taking responsibility and accountability of, I know that I'm really struggling right now, and I really appreciate your support. I know at some point I really do need to start taking some steps to kind of make some strides to be in a little bit better place. I'm going to set a goal, and if you have somebody that you can be held accountable to, I mean, I have accountability partners. I regularly will. It's difficult to be intentional, and it's difficult to take accountability. And there have been many situations with my housemates that when it has been brought to my attention that there's area for improvement for me with something, whether it's I had done something inconsiderate or whatever the case may be, something they've asked me to, like, can we dial it back on this kind of, I try to I own my flaws, And I am very much of the mentality that I would much rather have somebody come and have a gentle conversation. Nobody likes feeling attacked. Nobody likes feeling under pressure. And I've said it before and I'll say it again. Every interaction that you have with a person, from crossing paths and making eye contact in Michael's, or, you know, reaching for the same thing, whatever, to the grocery store clerk, to your nurse practitioner, to your spouse or partner, to your children, to your coworkers, every single interaction that you engage in with another person, you're in it together. We have, if I'm doing something that bothers other people, like, let's say I'm blasting music in the living room and I keep turning the volume way up and I keep the music going and going and going and going, and there are 5 or 6 other people in the room and they're trying to have a conversation, and I've got the music so loud that they can't have any conversation because I'm enjoying it so much, and I think that they're enjoying it, and some of them are, but not everybody is. But it's not that I'm intentionally being oblivious to it. I'm in my moment and I'm enjoying myself, and if nobody says anything differently, I feel like, how can you know that they're not enjoying it also? We forget that we don't all like the same things. We don't all enjoy the same moments. We don't enjoy the same music. I mean, there's a lot of overlaps. There's a lot of similarities, but it's not there 100%. And if somebody just can be bold and brave and be willing to try to communicate with grace and gratitude and no nonsense, just be like, hey, Jamie, you know, I know clearly you are enjoying this music, but could we turn it down? It's a little loud. And I would genuinely be like, whoa, I'm so sorry. You're right, I apologize. I did not realize that that was inconsiderate. Thank you for bringing it to my attention. Yeah, let's get it turned down. You know, I would have already turned it down at that point. That would have been the first thing I would have done. But then fast forward to the next time everybody's hanging out, and let's say I'm sharing a song and I want to turn it up. I'm going to hold myself accountable, and I'm going to say to everyone in the room, is it okay if I turn it up a couple, like if it's already pretty loud, let's say. If it has been expressed to me in the past that I've been inconsiderate with the level of volume, I'm going to be more attentive to it. I'm going to hold myself accountable, and I'm going to ask the people around me, is this volume level okay? Because it doesn't cost me anything. It doesn't hurt me, and it makes the interaction with them, because they can't enjoy their moment. Just because I'm enjoying mine, there's often ways that we can find those compromises of, I can still enjoy that music and I can still enjoy that moment, but it doesn't have to be to the detriment to them. We can find a middle ground. Maybe it's even to the level of swapping seats with somebody so that I'm closer to the speaker for this particular song. Like, there's not only one right way to do it. And that loops us back around to JR and how deeply he instilled into me that if you just do things the way that it works for all of us, we wouldn't have these problems, is how I believe it needs to be looked at. Not that if you would just do things my way, we wouldn't have these problems. It's like, no, if we would just work together, we would give each other grace and gratitude, we would have communication, And we would talk about these moments that make us feel frustrated, make us feel unseen, make us irritated, instead of letting it fester. Because the more and more you let it fester, like, okay, yeah, it's not that big of a deal. But if it bothers them enough that it bothers them like that, it's going to continue to bother them. And then the next thing that comes along that bothers them is going to bother them even more than it would have if the conversation had been had the first, maybe even the second time it happened. Sometimes it's hard to be brave and have those difficult communications and conversations with people. But I think ultimately we want people to treat us all with kindness. I mean, I get that we can't all match energy all the time, but it matters how you treat people. And without going into too many politics or anything, I think you all are very much aware of, it's difficult to see that right now with what's happening in the world. But I believe that the more people like me that get out here and start speaking these truths, start sharing examples of the power of embodying these truths, of treating people with kindness, to live out the caring acronym, to have those difficult conversations, to work together, to know that we're in it together, and work through. If the first way doesn't work, like, hold each other accountable. Say, okay, how about, can we try it this way for a couple of times and see how that works, and then can we come back together and have a conversation and see how we both feel about it? Does this work for both of us? Do we feel okay about it? Or should we try something else? What's something else that we can try? Don't just expect... I mean, sometimes the first idea that one of you comes up with is really the best approach. Sometimes it's not. I had shared, when we were a house of 5, there was one person that cooked supper for the household most nights. Most of you know I'm the one who does the cooking for community dinners and brunches, and I do love it. But then we were a household of 4, and the person that had done the cooking, the majority of the household cooking, was now gone. So how do we adjust to this? Tried to come up with, I had a suggestion, and it was begrudgingly accepted by one of the people in the household. The others were fine, but the first one was a little uncomfortable with it. They didn't feel like it fit with their schedule and with what they needed for their mental health. And it got lost in translation that, like, we would revisit this. Like, this doesn't have to be this way, but can we try it this way and see how we feel about it, and, like, revisit it in a couple of weeks? And conversations weren't had that should have been had. It should have been, I'm actually uncomfortable with that. I don't feel like I even want to try that. If there is another option, I would really prefer that we try that where it's something different. And turns out we tried several different things in the long run after things festered and other things compounded to it, and eventually things erupted, and we all learned very valuable lessons. And as the lovely ladies of the Lavender Lodge, as I've started saying, the 3 of us ladies, have learned how to communicate with each other so much better, how to have those difficult conversations, because we are learning that we're not going to be responded back to with a knee-jerk response. It's difficult to find the right wording sometimes. And words do matter. And I had a conversation with one of my children once upon a time about words mattering and your tone and your inflection, and I don't know why it is that my biggest struggle with implementing these things that I try so hard to implement into my life have been with my own children. And I tend to get all twisted up in my underwear, so to speak. Like, it's like, that's not what I meant to say. That's not that, like, oh man. I've had so many of these conversations that I've walked away from with my children that it's like, I got all twisted up, I got all flustered, and I let my emotions take over. And part of that has helped me get to this place where I try to remember that I can say, hold on, I need to pause. I'm getting flustered. I'm getting very flustered right now. I mean, clearly you can tell that I'm frustrated and I don't want to take that frustration out on you. I need to pump the brakes for a minute and kind of get my scattered thoughts a little less scattered. Can we come back to this? Sometimes it's difficult, the most difficult, to set boundaries with the people that are closest with us. But that lived experience has led me to who I am now, that I strive to do better. I can acknowledge that I screwed up. I can take accountability and responsibility, and I try to live my life with integrity. Those of you who know me know I absolutely am all about no nonsense. I don't give bullshit, I don't take bullshit, and I will call you out on your bullshit. In the acronym, it's no nonsense, but it's bullshit. Like, I'm all about no nonsense. Like, there is not any one of us that has time to be playing games with people or have games played with us. While time is fake, time is also precious. And speaking of time being precious, that was the intention of this stream, was to get the word out that on Saturday, February 21st, the Lavender Lodge, it's our monthly community dinner is that day, which has a soft start of 5 o'clock in the evening. People come earlier, people come later, people come and go, people stay the whole time. It is whatever you need. We are all about accommodating your needs and trying to make sure that you are comfortable and whatnot. We are going to be honoring our dear sweet friend Skylar, and the intention is we are going to be live streaming from the living room for the entirety, well, probably not the entirety of, but we'll probably start streaming when people start coming, and stream through dinner. People can choose to talk to the camera if they want to. They can just go about their everyday regular conversations, just being attentive that, yes, we are live streaming. If there are people that don't want to be on the stream, the kitchen, the hallway, the bathroom, and the office will be completely out of the view of the camera, and people can absolutely, as long as they're comfortable with that it is streaming, they can absolutely be here in the office behind me. We'll have it cleaned up and whatnot. So last community dinner was January, and January is one of the months that we have a lot of birthdays. And Skylar's birthday was January 11th. And mine's the 7th, and Emma's is the 14th. And so we've got this little bundle of birthdays right there. And I made my own very vanilla cupcakes for my birthday, and Emma got her pickle cupcakes that were surprisingly good for her birthday. So I had asked Skylar if she wanted to pick, and she picked red velvet with, it was, oh, this is a doozy, red velvet with cinnamon toast crunch cream cheese frosting. So we will be having Skylar's request of cinnamon toast crunch cream cheese frosting on red velvet cupcakes. There we go, front and back. She had also chosen that it was the taco bar. We will be doing the taco bar. We will have way more tortillas this time, folks. Way more flour tortillas. I know that we just did this last month, but this is about celebrating Skylar, and this is what Skylar had wanted. So this is what we're going to do for Skylar. And everyone and anyone is welcome to stop by, share stories about Skylar, hug the people that we love, cry the tears that need to be cried. This is a no shame and a no judgment zone. And this is what we need. And I do know that Skylar's family has plans in the works for honoring her that they will be announcing when they are ready to announce. Feel free to reach out to any one of us here in the house, Emma, myself, or staff, if you have any questions, comments, concerns about the 21st. I will leave you all on a happier note. This Saturday, on Valentine's Day, the lovely ladies of the Lavender Lodge are going on a penguin encounter. I get to touch penguins. I'm so excited. Oh my goodness. You guys, you have no idea. There's actually, Steph had her January calendar. And look at this. She gave me this. It's the pengies. It's, there we go. It's the pengies. It's been on the whiteboard here. Ooh, the camera's got to recalibrate. There we go. Or adjust, whatever, recalibrate. So, this Saturday afternoon, Emma, Steph, and I are going to go see the penguins at Brookfield Zoo. And I am stoked out of my ever-loving mind. I cannot wait. Like, oh, you guys. Like, yeah. This is gonna be a big highlight for me in my life, big bucket list thing. And actually, that is something I've got some talking points the next couple of times I get on. We're gonna talk about some of our favorites. We're gonna talk about our bucket lists. We're gonna talk about just some fun things, and we're gonna keep talking about mental health. Again, reach out with anything. And I will be streaming between now and when we have community dinner to reiterate a lot of this information. It is also in the details of the stream. Yeah, I think that's all I'm going to do for tonight, you guys. Peace, love, and cupcakes. I'll see you soon.